District Court of Eastern North Carolina is now in session. Judge Isaac Meekins presiding.
Let me see who showed up in my courtroom tonight. Look like a bunch of ruffians, if you ask me. Bootleggers and moonshiners, most likely. I am Judge Isaac M. Meekins. I was federal judge here in Elizabeth City for many years. I wasn't born in Elizabeth City. I came from Gum Neck over in Terrell County. I married Mary Lena Allen of Wake Forest, and we had 5 children. Lena was very dear to me and was quite accomplished. She was very fond of music, and she arranged to have the Von Trapp family singers perform here in Elizabeth City. And she organized the first DAR chapter in town and was its first regent. We built that large neoclassical revival house there across Main Street. It was quite something in its day. It had damask on the walls and a mural of Pompeii gracing the dining room. It's being renovated now, and I hope to see it restored to its former glory. I, personally, was known to be a little eccentric. Nothing wrong with that. For example, I never learned to drive. If I wanted to go anywhere, I had my daughter Mary drive me, or I summoned the highway patrol and had them take me where I wanted to go. It was very interesting here in town. And let me see if I can remember where I was. I was eccentric. And I was a very spiffy dresser. I wore top hat and tails when I wasn't in my judge's robe. And I insisted that my children call me father. None of this dad or daddy foolishness. Who ever heard of our daddy who art in heaven? My office was at 108 East Main Street, where Van Johnson's office is today. And William Howard Taft was a good friend of mine, and I supported him when he ran for president in 1908. He visited me here in Elizabeth City once, and Lena and I entertained him grandly. During the Prohibition era, Taft appointed me to serve as a special federal judge in New York City. I lived in the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, and I presided over a crowded docket. I developed something of a reputation for being one of the few judges who made a serious attempt at enforcing New York's prohibition laws. The newspapers like to accuse me of dispensing North Carolina justice, but I was fine with that. Nothing like a good old-fashioned common sense justice. I was tough on moonshiners and liquor traffickers. They were, after all, breaking the law. There once was a movement to give moonshiners immunity that accused prohibition officers of taking bribes, but I put a stop to that. I didn't trust an average moonshiner enough to take his word about anything. I was known for the severity of my sentences in liquor violation cases. There was one liquor trafficker I sentenced who was quite a philanthropist. He had given large sums of his ill-gotten gains to charities. And when he came before the bench, I thanked him for his generosity and then proceeded to give him the maximum sentence. As they say nowadays, if you do the crime, you do the time. In the 1930s, I returned to Elizabeth City and served on the bench until my death in 1946. Even a small-town judge can leave his mark on the world, and I did. In 1943, I ruled on a case involving fish in the Roanoke River. Before handing down my ruling, I expounded on the subject of fish for more than an hour. I told how a Harvard scientist had declared that eating fish improved the brain, and some poor fellow asked, well, how much fish would I have to eat to improve my brain? And the scientist looked at him and said, son, in your case, a whale a day wouldn't be enough. Yes, I digress, which judges are allowed to do. but the ruling I handed down in Hampton versus North Carolina Pulp Company set a precedent which influenced the decision in the Exxon Valdez oil spill case in Alaska in 1989. Well, I've gotten carried away talking. I won't have time to try any of you suspects here tonight, so I'll have to let you go on your own recognizance. But if you ever show up in my courtroom again, it won't go easy. Court dismissed.